Before we get into today's presentation, I just want to make sure everyone can hear me. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up or type into the chat box. There's one thumbs up. That is a good sign. Let's see another. Excellent. Great. So it is officially 12:01. So we'll get all rolling. To quickly introduce myself, my name is Karmi Gutman. I am the financial planner here at Lifestyle Planning and Keystone Law Firm. Today will be kind of a little bit shorter presentation than usual, but we're going to be talking about hopefully making sure if we can get the maximum value out of our rentals. This will actually be something that will be a new service that will be offered to Keystone Law Firm members as part of your trust care, as well as if you're part of the retirement management office with Lifestyle Planning. It's going to be a new service that we're going to be offering out, and we wanted to see if it would be a benefit to anyone. So we will go through what are the things that we can figure out together when it comes to rentals, because when it comes to specific Sorry. Okay. Try that again. Sorry about that, everyone. Lost connection there for a second. Can everyone still hear me? One thumbs up. See another. Okay. Sorry about that. What's the saying? Technology gives you 2 steps forward, 3 steps back sometimes. So we will just move forward from that. But like I was saying, what we're going to be sharing today will take about 30 minutes or so. I'll leave about a couple minutes at the end for questions. But the goal is just to see if you're currently a Keystone Trust Care member, or if you're part of the retirement management office with Lifestyle Planning, to see if maybe we can add some value to you, okay? But before we do that, there are a couple things I just need to let you know when it comes to anything that is discussed in any type of the videos that are done by myself or Michelle or Francisco. All of these are not, do not constitute any type of specific advice in any form or capacity. This is just purely educational, as well as just informative, to put it more bluntly. So please don't act on anything that we do or discuss at this time, because again, this is just purely educational, whatever we discuss. Again, the last point here is if you happen to work with us on the retirement management office side with Lifestyle Planning, we have some couple notes that no matter how strong the investment thesis is or the portfolios that we build for our clients, they always involve risk, right? So it's always best, no matter what's discussed, just if there's any questions, don't hesitate to reach out, but please don't act on anything that we discuss, because this is just purely educational. Since we got through the legal disclosures, let's get through today's presentation. I am fighting through a cold, so I apologize if it's a little hoarse. I will do my best to be as clear and as concise as possible. Last thing to point out, this video is being recorded. So if you're not comfortable with the recording, you do have the capability to leave at any time. You can just hit the little red button on the bottom where it looks like a little phone being face down. If you're not comfortable being recorded, please leave at your convenience by just clicking on that red button. But today, let's go through the presentation. So I thought it would be helpful if we kind of go through a sample situation that maybe we can help partner with. So the property that we're going to be demonstrating, I did get permission from this specific couple to utilize it. They just asked me to not utilize their real names and such, but they like to go as a pseudonym of Dr. Pepper and Mrs. Pibb. They're both Dr. Pepper and Dr. Pibb fans, so just thought it was suitable. So let's go through this case. They're Dr. Pepper and Mrs. Pibb. They recently retired. They filed their taxes jointly. Age 65, so they just got on Medicare. Their adjusted gross income is about $100,000. Reason why that's important, for those that are not aware, a lot of different benefits for Medicare, Social Security, and other types of benefits, they utilize adjusted gross income or modified adjusted gross income. So we kind of utilize that as a point just for tax purposes. They currently have a rental property in Sugar Land, Texas, and they're just looking to see if they're getting the most out of their rental. And to see if there's any opportunities that we can partner together, we utilize a new software that's called ReWealth. And we're going to switch to that right now. So this is called ReWealth. Essentially what it is a planning software specifically designed for rental properties. It was created by Dylan Kensington. You can look it up on LinkedIn, ReWealth Properties, or ReWealth Reports. They essentially found an opportunity where a lot of estate attorneys or financial advisors and planners and such shy away from having hard conversations when it comes to rentals because they are indeed just difficult to deal with. And as a result, he created software to allow us to be able to answer those difficult questions and to at least make it so that we have a much easier opportunity to be able to just help our members just be able to make an informed decision when it comes to their rentals. So the property that we're going to be talking about is, like I said, in Sugar Land, Texas. It can be, there's no limitation to this as long as it's within the US. That is the only limitation. If it's international, we're not able to really give as much guidance on that. But essentially how we are able to pull in information regarding your rental property, it is we utilize your tax return, because on your tax return, you usually have a specific tax document related to your rentals. There's usually a depreciation schedule associated with that. And essentially it pulls in the data from the tax returns as a starting point, and then we can make edits based off of any missing details. This has been actually really helpful because one thing that we've been able to find for a specific member of ours is that they didn't have a depreciation schedule on their rental, and that can be a no-no not to have, because what will happen is when you go to sell that rental down the line, if Uncle Sam does not see that you have been applying some sort of depreciation expense to your rental property, they will essentially make it a way for you to have to retroactively calculate it so that they can tax you on the difference. And what I mean by that is that depreciation reduces your basis in the property. So when you go to sell it, there will be some sort of recapture that happens at the end. So it is very, very important that you have one. So it is one of those things that is kind of helpful utilizing tax returns, because if we don't see one, it's an easy fix with your CPA to kind of get that rectified. But the reason what we're going to try and see today for Dr. Pepper and Mrs. Pibb is to see, like, is their property that's located in Stafford, Texas, are they getting the best value for it? So we'll go and jump into that property and let's see what we can find out. So the address that we're looking into is 3130 Amesbury Court in Stafford, Texas. What we know is they originally bought this house for $250,000 back in 2000. They paid all cash for it. And they're looking to see, well, what is the value essentially now? What happens is that in the software, it utilizes Zillow, Redfin, excuse me, It utilizes software like Zillow and Redfin to essentially see what is the current market. I apologize for the coughing. I'll do my best not to cough in everybody's ear. But essentially, it gives us what is essentially the value. As we all know, whatever the estimated value is doesn't necessarily mean that's what someone's willing to buy it at. However, it just gives a good basis. Okay. So at first glance, the first thing we can notice is well, it looked like it worked out really well for Dr. Pepper and Mrs. Pibb. They spent $250. It's probably worth somewhere around $400. Not a bad type of potential return for that. Now, for those that want to get into nitty gritty, we have the capability to do specific valuation metrics to see has it been a worthwhile investment, right? So if you're just looking to potentially see what was the cash on cash return, hypothetically speaking, what is the return you made year per year? If you paid cash for it originally and getting cash out, what is that return going to be? What is the cap rate, right? In real estate essential terms, what is that pure profit return you get every year based on the net operating income that you generate from the rental, as well as what is the return on equity? Usually, not always, but sometimes the return on equity and cap rate are the same. But for those that want to get nitty gritty, we are able to calculate those metrics based off what we're able to see on your tax return. So the first question that Dr. Pepper and Mrs. Pibb asked me is, am I getting the market equivalent rent? So what we are able to do is we are able to essentially create a report here for them to see like what exactly is the market rent that they are getting at this time relative to what exactly what are they collecting now in rent versus what exactly is the current market level rent. So what we can do is we can go and create a filter and say, okay, what is the actual rent that I'm getting for this specific property? Excuse me. And see, like, do we need to potentially increase the rent for this specific property relative to the market? And we can run a report for you utilizing these inputs, and it can come out for you in a nice one-pager report here. I'm kind of simplifying. I ran these reports in advance, but we can essentially create a report saying how is the property essentially done. So at this time, where is it? Nope, that's what I'm looking for. Here we go. So we're able to generate a report for each property that we're looking to essentially analyze for people that need some help. So for example, what they're currently collecting on that 3130 property is around $8,500 in rent a year. Looking at the rental comps, maybe we can increase it a little bit. Instead of getting $8,500 a year, maybe we can get $11,000 for it, utilizing current rental comps. And we get able to adjust it to see, okay, the current property is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath. So let's go and see what are other properties that have a similar structure and make sure that we're getting the most rent for it. So it gives us what are the main comparisons, where is it getting the median price for that, and we're able to kind of give some information to anyone we partner with to make sure, are they getting the maximum rent possible? Okay. Other things we can look to see is specifically with regards to usually when we get into more unique situations is how much should be owned. Is it currently 100% owned by you? Is it owned in a trust, in an LLC? We can get a little bit more unique with these in each situation, but at the end of the day, we can run very, 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 very direct projections as well as analysis for you to make sure that from a estate planning perspective, is it being held in the appropriate structure to make sure that you're maximizing the rent that you're collecting for that property. So the first question we can help you answer is, are you getting the maximum rent that you want? Okay. The next question, maybe Dr. Pepper, Mrs. Pibb, is maybe they're wanting to buy another rental in the property. So, meaning in a similar area. So we can run an area analysis for you. So how has Sugarland, Texas been as a destination for other potential rental properties, right? How is the crime level? What percentage is violent crime? How much total crime is there? What's the unemployment rate, right? How many people are actually moving in within that area? What are the income levels, right? What is the average rent, right? What is the rent percentage to income, right? These are all metrics that you can utilize to make sure to see, one, do I want to buy another rental in this property? Do I need to increase the rental, right? We can go in and see. We can also look to see as maybe you want to make a consideration to potentially sell this rental. How many are currently for sale? How many are for rent, etc. Because that can give very, very nuanced information that you're looking for to decide and make an informed decision. Apologies for that. But what we're trying to get at is whatever information that you're looking for from an area analysis that you can make an informed decision, we most likely have it so you can make that informed decision we're talking about, right? What are the common heat sources? What is the distribution of rental properties available? How many bedrooms are they? What is the average square foot, right? What's the estimated cap rate? Reminder, with the cap rate for this area, remember, what is that pure profit return that you're getting year over year? That's what that cap rate means, right? So we can partner together so that you can relatively see what doesn't make sense to buy another rental, what exactly is the market rents, and kind of go from there, right? Also, maybe if you're looking to relocate, right? And you have a specific property in mind and you want to know what the potential risks are, right? We can go in and see for this area. Texas, specifically Sugarland, Texas, they're known for floods. Sometimes some hurricanes, maybe a tornado here and there. But these are all risks that maybe you want to consider when you're buying insurance for those rentals, right? So these are all things that we want to make sure that anyone who partners with us from the trust care side, for the lifestyle planning and retirement management office side, these are all things we want to make sure you're aware of. And these are all downloadable PDFs that we can hand to you after we kind of just make sure it's exactly what you're looking for. Some of the other nuanced things that we can do, which is something that can sometimes be useful for certain individuals, is how do I go and tax efficiently finance in order to improve my rental or to improve my home property, right? So let's say you are considering going and adding a new bedroom or adding a pool. What is the best way to go and seek financing for that? Is it a line of credit? Is it getting a private loan? What will the value hypothetically be if I added this bedroom or I added this pool? These are all nuanced things that we can model and essentially run an analysis for you for, so that you can, again, make that informed decision, right? So at the end of the day, this ReWealth tool is something that we're hoping will be a value-added resource to some of you, just so you can make an informed decision. And again, at the end of that meeting or so, we're able to kind of generate a report for you. We can print it out. You can essentially then utilize it and go from there. So to quickly summarize, what are the questions that we can help you partner on if you're a trust care member or part of the retirement management office? Am I getting the market level of rent? What is the most tax efficient way to raise funds for a home/rental improvement? Is it taking a loan? Is it taking a home equity line of credit? What are some ways to successfully do that? How does that impact my taxes? These are all things that we can include and help you just get the information that you're looking for. Does it make sense to sell my rental, right? right? If you're getting X amount of income from that rental, right? What will the tax situation be if I sell my rental? How do I replace the income if I'm looking to sell that rental, right? These are all things that we can partner with you on to kind of see, does it make sense? And then lastly is, how does my property compare to others, right? Through that area analysis report, we can see my current property rental relative to others from a safety perspective, from a median rent perspective, etc. So like I said, a pretty short presentation today, and it was done on purpose because it is unhelpful to give like general guidance and regarding rentals and such, because it's such a nuanced space. But we were just hoping to utilize this 20-30 minutes or so to kind of see what the capabilities could be if this is something that you wanted to get some help on from us in the future. Okay. If this is something that you're actually interested in learning more about and some of the capabilities and how you go about getting these scheduled, if you're, like I said, if you're already part of Trust Care or part of the Retirement Management Office with Lifestyle Planning, you can call that number listed there. You can send me an email. If you're not comfortable calling that line, you can call the Keystone line that you know already. But it is something that we're really, really excited to be offering out. I think, and the firm thinks as well, it is a valuable resource that can essentially just help anyone who is really looking for that second level of information that's not going to be biased from like your management company, or that's not going to be sourced from Zillow, right? Or let's just put it bluntly, you don't want to do the work. This is a nice way to essentially get those questions answered. So I'll kind of open it up for questions at this time. If you'd like to ask a question, there is a chat box feature to the right of the red button where it says leave call. You'll see that there'll be a little chat with everyone section. Feel free to type your questions in there. If not, we do have the capability to unmute and ask the question as well. So I'm happy to answer any type of questions at this time, if any. So James, great question. If you're looking to go and get ReWealth is not available. Well, let me rephrase that. It is available for everyone if you're looking to go and look it up online. It is specifically tailored to financial professionals. So you will have to put in your CRD number or SEC number for that. Once you do that, there is also a monthly fee to get on to that. So it is something that is available. However, you do have to be quote unquote financial professional because that's who it was designed for. Again, to put it bluntly, it was designed as a tool to help estate attorneys as well as financial planners to be just more informed on how to handle those rental conversations that many may choose to shy away from just with the specific nuance associated with them. But good question. What other questions? I don't see any coming in. Couple came in. Okay, we'll go through it. So the next one, are there other tools that are similar to this that can compile information about rentals in the areas? So in a concise manner that I believe ReWealth does, no. But can you piecemeal information together? Yes. So utilizing reports from Redfin, utilizing reports from Zillow or apartments.com or any of those other third-party sites, yes, you can generate what you're getting here through them, but it will take a lot of piecemealing together, because what ReWealth does and what I believe they do really, really well is that they take the integrations from those websites to fill in blanks that your tax return does not have, right? And it utilizes that to kind of put all the information in one place. So ReWealth does a really, really nice way of putting it into one digestible place for you to see it all, which is why we think it can be valuable for a lot of our members to consider getting a second opinion on. But like I said, yes, you can get the information. It's just going to take a lot of piecemealing based on the sites that I mentioned. So another good question came in: can the tool be utilized to check management companies' recommendations? At this time, the answer is no, because the software was designed specifically for financial professionals to handle those very nuanced questions. Well, let me put it this way. Think of it as a way to help check what you're getting from your management company to ensure that whatever you're paying them, you're getting the most out of, right? What you don't want to see is from your management company, if they're saying that they can collect X, but then the report is saying Y, right? That might be lead you to a question to ask the management company of why haven't you adjusted my rents to this, right? This is what I'm seeing. So this can be like a nice way to gut check your management companies, and just to keep them honest. But can it be specifically utilized directly to check management companies? No. This is more of a gut check. But good question. What other questions can we answer? Give it another minute or so. All right. If there isn't anything else, please feel free that as questions arise after this presentation, feel free to give us a call. You can call the Keystone line. You can call the Lifestyle Planning line, which is that one listed there. You can email me directly. Will this webinar be available later? Yes. Great question. What will be happening is just for compliance. We just have to review it quickly, make sure there's anything that's not supposed to go out. But once it's gone through compliance review, this will be posted later on the Keystone Law Firm YouTube site, just for those that want to come back later, just to see some of the options available for those that want to take advantage of this service. Okay. Again, this is already something that's going to be included as part of your trust care if you're a trust care member, or if you are part of us with RMO on the investment side with lifestyle planning. So no cost for that if you're part of trust care or part of the retirement management office with lifestyle planning. But short answer, yes, it'll be on the Keystone YouTube site. Any other questions? Short one this time around, but I felt it would be better to be short and sweet with this because this can be so nuanced, and it's just better to go through specific recommendations once we have all details. That's really what it comes down to. And it was more just showing to just express some excitement about a new capability that we can offer to our trust care members and such. So we hope this was not a waste of 30 minutes. I hope you're able to maybe think through something or have a question for later. But again, thank you guys for the time. And this will be posted later for those that just want to come back to it later. Thank you guys.